Hey, it's Mrs. J. Today we're going to look at Autodesk Inventor 2021 version to look at a simple mate and flush constraint tool. So let's be on the home button and pick a new part. And we'll make something really simple. Start a new sketch, top left corner, XY plane, XY. This one, XY. And then let's use the rectangle cube and let's just make a simple, we'll go with a cube. So let's go 1 tab 1, a 1-inch cube, hit enter. So I use tab on my keyboard to toggle between the two numbers. Hit enter. Hit escape to get out of the rectangle tool. If you missed the numbers or just hit the wrong thing, just hit escape a couple times. Double click on the number you've got and make it 1 inch. If you manage to do it without the numbers showing up, you didn't hit tab, you just come up to dimension in the center there, left click on your line, and then you tell it. And that's it. You only need two. You need the top and you need the side, and then you're good. You can type in whatever you need. Finish the sketch, top right corner. You always want to finish your sketches before you extrude. I know it lets you do it otherwise, but it messes up later. So finish your sketch. And hit the house, get that in front of me. Extrude. I'm going to extrude 1 inch. It should default to that. And you can go forward or back. It doesn't matter by pulling the line. I got 1 inch. I'm going to zoom out, give this some color so we can see it better when we're looking on the overhead. So adjust is called the adjust tool. I'm going to drag it by left clicking there. I'm going to left click above my object and go across it. That selects the whole thing. And then just pick a color that makes you happy. Oh, that was nice. I was going for pink, but I'll take the red. Click OK. All right, let's save it. And I'm going to call mine square cube. You can call it whatever makes you happy. Just don't call it part. Square cube. Okay, so let's make a new one. Now we're not going to be in the same sketch. We need to leave and go to a new one. This is not Tinkercad or Fusion. So top left corner, file, new part. There you go, new part file. We're going to start a new 2D sketch. Same thing, XY plane. And let's make something that is bigger, longer, so we can attach them. So rectangle tool, left click, drag to the right. Let's make this one maybe 3 by 1. Enter. I'm going to hit the house button so we can see it better, and then I'll hit front. See, my mouse has that yellow dot. That means I'm still in a tool. I'm in the rectangle tool. So we're going to hit escape. 3 by 1. That's looking good. Let's have a little fun. Make this a little bigger. Let's take that rectangle tool again. And I'm going to go right on the origin. I'm going to go right what I just did a minute ago. So rectangle tool, origin, it's green. I'm going to drag up. And let's say 2 by 1. Yeah, that'll fit nicely. 2 by 1. Enter. I think I wanted 1 by 2. Let's see. Oh no, here. Yeah. Let's make this bigger. See this one? Let's make that. Double click that, make that 2. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So it should have been 2 by 2 the whole time. Forgive me. 2 by 2. And it doesn't matter that they're on top of each other because we're going to extrude it. You could trim this all out and get rid of it and then extrude it. It's just extra time. So let's finish the sketch. See my numbers there? That's 2. The original one was 3 by 1. The next one was 2 by 2. Finish the sketch. I'm going to go to the house button, get it in front of me, and then extrude. And you have to select. See, it says, hey, select the profile. So I'm going to left click, and left click. I left click 3 things. And they're all 1 inch. I'm going to click OK. Okay, so now we're going to scroll out, get the adjust button, move it out of the way. I think I had red before. I think left click, drag across. I'm going to go blue. Okay, and then hit OK. You notice when you open up the adjust button, it gives you a little, how do you call that, eyedropper? You could left click on something and borrow that color to put it on another object if you have something else nearby. It lets you share the colors. Okay, you don't need to do that now. We're going to hit save, and we're going to call this, I have no idea, piece, P-I-E-C-E 1. Which is probably not a good idea because we made puzzle pieces, right? So piece 7. Random names, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as it's saved, you can use it in an assembly. I'm using my mouse wheel to scroll in and out, so play with that feature when you get a chance. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's open or closed for Inventor. I'm going to go up to top left, File, New, Assembly. I'm going to bring all the pieces in. In other software, you start from where you just were. In Inventor, you start on a new file, .iam. So we're going to go to Place, and it's always just Place Component. And we're going to bring in the two things we just made. So I had piece 7. I'm going to left click it. I'm going to scroll out. It stays on your mouse so that you can bring in multiples, but we only want one. So I'm going to hit Escape, and now I'm good there. I'm going to go ahead and ground this. I don't want it to move. Right click, ground it. One of them gets that. Now when I hover, I see a thumbtack. Okay, it's not going to go anywhere. Everything goes to it. Top left corner, Place. And I'm going to bring in that square thing we just made, the little cube. And I'm going to left click it. You don't want to bring it in where, so I want to put it on this cube, right? But you don't need to do that now. Just bring it away and give yourself some space. Hit Escape. Okay, so now we want to play with the constraint tool. Today is about the constraint tool. There's other ways to do this, but let's try this. Constrain. It defaults to mate. You have other choices. You have angle, you have tangent, you have insert, and you have symmetry. We're just going to leave it right on the default. When you call it mate, you have two options, mate and flush. And this is the ones we want to play with. Generally, you want to default just the way it is. You use one mate and then all the flushes to get it lined up. So you leave it just the way it is, mate. We're going to click on, let's say, this piece. Let's try this one. So I'm going to left click. Now be careful if you're trying to move your page around and get to your object. Be careful that you don't click on it and mate it on accident. So I'm going to click right here. Because it's a cube, it doesn't really matter which face I click on, right? If it had a particular shape, then it would matter. Now I have to hit apply. This is the key that we skip. If we hit apply instead of OK, hit apply, then you can reuse and not have to reopen this dialog box that says place constraint. So now I'm going to switch to flush because if you come over here, rotate tool, see the gap? That gap's not cool. And escape. So I'm going to switch over to flush. Flush means you're going to line it up with the object next to it. And I'm going to do that in a couple places. So we're going to click the outside face of this one and the outside face of the blue. And then I'm going to hit apply. Very happy, cool beans there. Now the one that's going to make the difference is on the top here. So I'm going to rotate a little bit and hit escape. Now what's this? We're still in flush. I'm going to hit the top. And then the top, doesn't matter where, as long as it's in the center. Don't hit the lines, don't hit the edges, hit somewhere in the center. Lines up beautifully, right? Hit apply. Now I can't really tell if it's lined up on the side here. I'm assuming it is, but just in case, we're going to keep it on flush. Do it one more time. Flush, flush. If it's already like overdone, they'll stop you. They'll give you a message and say, hey, stop doing that. Okay, hit the house button. If you change this color to the same color as that, you shouldn't be able to detect that it's there. So have fun, play with that. That's the best way to do it. Constraint, mate, and the rest flush. One mate, the rest flush. Have fun.